Hi, I'm Katie and I'm the Youth and Family Engagement Officer here at Children's Heartbeat Trust. I am so pleased to welcome you to episode 9 of our Heart Heroes podcast. And today we have the lovely Susan and her daughters Chloe and Lucy. And Chloe and Lucy have recently joined our Glow Youth programme, so we'll hear a wee bit more about that later on. But firstly, Susan, thank you, and girls, thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
But just to get started, how did you become a heart family?
Well, whenever I first found out that we were having twins, at the 20-week scan, we found out that Chloe was missing her right ventricle, and we didn't know anything about Lucy at that time, and we were just told, don't Google anything, just go with the flow, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So when they were born, we knew that Chloe was going to have to be taken to the ICU. We thought we would maybe have to go to Birmingham straight away, but it ended up that we didn't have to go until she was 5.5 weeks old. Now, she did stay in the Royal for 3.5 weeks, and at that time Lucy and I were in for a week after they were born, and they found out that Lucy had a hole in the heart, and it was quite big, but they just said, oh, that'll close over, it'll be fine, you know. So we just muddled on. Chloe had her first surgery then at 5.5 weeks in Birmingham. Lucy came along to wave the pom-poms, and over the next few months Lucy failed to put on weight, and we ended up in hospital whenever she was 7 months old with an infection, and at that stage they discovered that she had both an ASD and a VSD, so it was 2 holes in the heart, and they were just hoping that they would close over. And the pictures were being sent to Birmingham, and they were saying, no, let's just hang fire. And then we ended up going over for the second stage of Chloe's Fontan surgery whenever they were 8.5 months old, and Lucy at that stage was on a feeding tube, so she was still very light. They had the same consultants and surgeons over in Birmingham, and because we'd flown over from Belfast, we were given the option at that time to do Lucy's surgery at the same time as Chloe's. So we ended up having Chloe's surgery on the Wednesday and Lucy's on the Friday.
Wow.
So it was a bit of an adventure
that
at that
sounds
time.
like an adventure, alright, doesn't it, girls? Yeah. And I'm sure, like, whenever you probably found out that you were having twins, that was a shock in itself, never mind then at the 20-week scan finding out that one had a heart condition, and then eventually when they were born two having a heart condition. How much extra added pressure was that, having twins, and them both having a heart condition?
Yeah, well, these are the only two I have, so I didn't have any other children before them. So first of all, I didn't have a clue what to do with a single baby, never mind with double babies, and then to add the heart conditions on top. And it was pretty tough at the beginning because Chloe was in hospital at times that Lucy wasn't. Lucy and I were in hospital because I was feeding myself at times that Chloe wasn't. So there were episodes of time where I couldn't be with one or the other, and that makes it tricky. And then adding the medication on top of just feeding and changing nappies and keeping them alive, was just an added pressure as well. And it can be quite isolating, in that first year, because you're on your own with 2 babies and you learn as you go. You really do. But 2 great helpers.
So you mentioned then, the added pressure of them having twins, and one maybe going to Birmingham, and whenever the whole idea of possibly having to go to Birmingham came about, how did you feel about having to go across the water for the surgery rather than having it done on the island of Ireland?
At the time, antenatally, whenever we were pregnant, we had Professor Casey as our consultant, and he said, there might be a possibility of going to Dublin, but Birmingham were the experts in Chloe's condition.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't care where we went, as long as wherever she went, she had the best care. And to be honest, to fly over to Birmingham probably take as long as getting the ambulance down to Dublin. And we didn't have to think about a thing. we had the airplane, the air ambulance kind of plane take us over. We didn't have to worry about bringing passports. We could bring whatever we wanted. We just got on the plane. We were picked up by the ambulance. We were taken to the hospital, and then we did it all in reverse on the way back. And we literally didn't have to worry about the travel at all. So for us to go to Birmingham, even though it is handier to go to Dublin for sure now, it didn't bother me at the time where we went.
Yeah.
It was more, we didn't know when we would be going, and it's living in that limbo where what could be tomorrow or it could be, a few months down the line. So it was never knowing.
Yeah.
It's the unknown. Yeah.
And that is probably what is so tricky as well. And then, you'd mentioned how you were all geared up for Chloe's surgery, and then all of a sudden you could have Lucy's surgery too. So how did you feel whenever the girls kind of, had surgery one day after another? Like, how was that?
Well, Lucy and I had been in the Royal for a couple of long-term stays before we went to Birmingham, and it was at the back of my mind that we knew Chloe's surgery was coming up in Birmingham, and that we would have had to have left the Royal to go to Birmingham.
Yeah.
So the only reason that we got out of the Royal was at the time the norovirus broke out, and they basically sent everybody home who could walk. So we left, and then a week later we went to Birmingham, not expecting Lucy to have her surgery, but when the opportunity came up to do that, we were given the choice. And the surgeon was really good, and he said, we appreciate that this is a big thing, you aren't prepared for it, but it's up to you. And we had a chat and we thought, yeah, do you know what, we're here, Lucy needs it. Why would we come back again and go through all this again and have to try and find extra childcare? We're all here, we can all do it. So Chloe had her surgery on the Wednesday, Lucy on the Friday, and they had cots beside each other.
Oh.
And so whenever, it was tough at the time. I mean, it was tough, but it was done. And we could come home, we knew that it was done, and the two of them could recover together.
Yeah. And going through all that and doing all that, is there anything in particular that at the time you found that helped you cope with the stress and the worry of it all?
At the time, both of us were self-employed, so we financially were helped by the Children's Heartbeat Trust, so that took a lot of pressure off having to think about work. And we, in a strange way, we actually enjoyed being together as a family, and all we had to do was turn up at the hospital and be there.
Yeah.
We didn't have to worry about housework because we weren't at home. We were staying in Ronald McDonald. All we needed to do was basically make her dinner, and we could devote all of the time necessary to getting through that period of time without any other life situations having to be involved in terms of going to work and keeping a house and, having to drive somewhere, right next door. So it wasn't really like being in the real world. You're in this bubble where your whole life's just the hospital and Ronald McDonald and hospital, and then maybe nipping into Birmingham for a wee cup of coffee,
dander around the shops.
A wee dander around the shops, just to get our heads cleared. So it did help to take the pressure off just everyday life by having that financial pressure taken off us.
Yeah, and that's, that is one thing we do offer, is the financial support, and a lot of families would comment on how much it does help them. So it's great to hear that was kind of, that helped you as well. And how has it been now as the girls have got older and have their own little personalities?
Well, it's certainly easier. They can now help around the house. I don't have to change nappies anymore. Even medication wise, it has got easier. Chloe would have been on Captable 3 times a day, so no matter where you went, you had to carry this bottle around with the syringes. So she takes 2 tablets in the morning, and then that's it. And she's been able to swallow tablets since she was 4. So well, you haven't really needed to, but you've been very good. You've been able to swallow tablets since you were 5. But Lucy's not on any medication, but the medication that Chloe's on, it's just 2 tablets in the morning, and then the day, if she's going anywhere, with the Children's Heartbeat Trust or with Glow, they don't have to worry about setting a time on a phone for any afternoon medication or anything. So it's got easier that way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think we've heard enough from Mummy.
I think so.
So, girlies, on to you guys. So, firstly, what is it like having a twin?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Do you reckon? So, who would be, let's see, who is the messiest?
No.
It's going to be
equally tidy.
You're both equally tidy?
Yes.
So we're both equally tidy. Who is the loudest? Lucy? I think so too.
Yes.
What is your favourite things to do?
My favourite things to do is maths, fashion. I like playing with teddies.
Oh, who's this?
Stormy.
Stormy?
I got him
Lovely.
yesterday.
Oh, lovely. He's a new teddy then for you.
Hello. Yeah.
Anything else?
I like doing karate. I'm orange tip, so it's orange with a yellow stripe. And I like reading. I don't love it, I just like it. And yeah.
What about you, Chloe?
I enjoy reading. I also really like teddies. Because I have a teddy called Chromie. Because I love Hello Kitty and Friends, if you know what that is. But I also enjoy literacy because I like reading and words and stuff. And I also enjoy doing my karate too. And I'm the same belts with me in orange tip. I like singing because I do that like all the time without even knowing. I like whistling.
You just do it without knowing as well, do you? You just do it, don't even think about it. Well, that's quite a lot of things that you enjoy doing. So, we've spoken to Mummy about your heart conditions. How do you two feel about your heart conditions?
You can go first because you have a bigger one.
You have a bigger heart.
You
go first.
Nice and loud.
Well, I do know that I've had 3 surgeries in my whole life. Yeah. And when I was 5, I was in the hospital. When I turned 6, I was still in the hospital. And that wasn't the greatest birthday ever, was it?
I'm sure it wasn't.
It was a great birthday for me, at least. Yeah, she was
in a hotel.
Yeah, she was in a hotel. And I was just sitting. Yeah, I was in the hospital.
What does your heart condition mean to you?
I don't know. I have a special heart.
You do?
You do.
Yeah. I don't really know. You've had surgeries, haven't you? Oh yeah, I've had surgery. When you were a baby? Yeah.
So you had surgery when you were a baby?
But I don't remember it at all.
Yeah. And do you think that's a good thing?
But I remember when Chloe was in the hospital, I went round and I saw her.
Yeah.
But I wasn't allowed in the surgery room.
No.
I did it during
Like a box? You did a box?
Yeah. Yeah. I did a box every once a year.
Oh, wow.
I'm more annoying.
Annoying now. So we've heard about how you are at home. We've heard about your heart conditions and how that has affected you. And now you are old enough and big enough to join our youth programs. So when we launched our programs back in April, you 2 girls signed up for Glow. And how have you found that?
Good. Fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed about that?
Well, it's good fun and you can make new friends and you do loads of different things. Yeah.
What's been your favourite thing so far?
Probably the jungle when we did the bungee jumping, the rock climbing and all of that stuff.
What about you, Chloe?
Well, I liked when the barrel thing.
The barrel thing with the crazy driver?
Yeah, the crazy driver. Yeah.
And that was your favourite thing? And if a young person asked you why they should join Glow, a young person with a heart condition asked you why they should join Glow, what would you say?
Well, you can make like loads of friends, because me and Chloe on the Jungle Day, we made like a huge bunch of friends there. And yeah, it's really fun.
What would you say, Chloe?
It's really nice. You get to experience lots of different things and how you can. Sorry. It's really fun, and you find that it is okay and you are safe because you can.
Yeah. You're looked after well, aren't you?
Yeah, you're very.
You get lots of
well.
snacks and
Yeah,
your favourite.
yeah.
Lots of
Yeah,
snacks.
I love snacks.